So this person's asking what happened to VR. And so well, first of all, it did what most technology does is it has a breakthrough and has this big spike, and then it doesn't really advance that much. I mean, it hasn't. You see this with mobile phones, right? I mean, after the iPhone, really, what's advanced? I got a little bit bigger, a little bit nicer camera, but nothing else changed. What changed was the usage. And VR never had that usage for a whole bunch of reasons. And that's, it leaves marks on your face. You got to put it on your face if you're wearing makeup or anything else. It makes a bunch of people sick. I know people on Reddit are going to tell me they don't get sick. Good. I'm glad you don't. That's awesome. Most of us do. And then Facebook. So I was going to jump ahead for a sec. Apple's failure at this actually helps in some way, because can we stop the stupid, well, VR is just a step to AR. I have had so many thoughtful, intelligent VCs tell me that, like, well, I'm going to be extremely smart and give you a tip. VR is going to lead to AR. And I'd be like, well, they're exactly two different experiences entirely with two different goals. So can you explain this to me? And they never could. So let's just drop that one out. And thankfully, I think Apple's shown that that's a dead end. Yeah, they're going to dead end that. But so, like, the Meta Quest, it's a fine headset, but here's the problem. Facebook came in and they spent so much money. And they were, first of all, having people make stuff nobody gives a crap about. Nobody wants to go into the meta world and laugh at people suffering or whatever you do at meta world. I don't know. I seriously, no one in the metaverse stuff, nobody wants that crap. So like people are like, well, that's headsets for the metaverse. Oh my God, Matthew Ball has a new book out because he had to update his book because his first book was so wrong. He's got to be wrong now. He thinks every Tesla has LiDAR. Someone's got to break it to him. So Matthew Ball, I rarely do I want someone making something called just flat out stupid, but he's stupid. I'm allowed to say stupid. Stupid is the safe word to say when someone's like, all right, whatever. Okay, you know what I'm saying. I'm getting sidetracked here. Okay, but so Facebook made all these big investments, but then what they do is they still pay people to make games and experiences. But the games you play, right? So let's ignore Beat Saber, because in many ways, a Quest is a Beat Saber machine. Much like I bought a bunch of Nintendo Wiis for people. They only ever played Wii Sports. That was it. It didn't play any other game. It just played that, and it was successful for that. And it's like for this, right? But adoption is not that big, right? And so the Facebook has to pay people to make games so that they have content. But when they do that, they're then elevating that quality level of that content to a higher level than they can actually make money on. So every other developer who doesn't want to take Facebook money is like, well, I can't compete against that because that's just inflated. And so they have this kind of breaking up. And so then a lot of like the cool stuff that looks really fun and great is the really hardcore stuff that just makes me sick instantly and makes a lot of people sick instantly. And most people, when they put something on and it makes them sick, they don't go, well, I'm going to rough this out because I like throwing up or whatever, right? Like, and again, yeah, I get it. There's a bunch of people who do that. Rock on. Good for you. But like most people are like, yeah, if this thing makes me sick, I'm never going to trust it again. And once all you have to do is get sick, really sick once, and you're like, yeah, I'm not putting that on before I'm going to go on a date tonight or whatever, right? I'm not going to risk it. And so then like all this has led to not enough adoption. To give you some kind of idea of what adoption's needed for major developers to look at it, Sony not only has stopped PSVR 2 development, they stopped the Wii Play, Wii Motion things, right? They stopped those when they had 15 million sold. And they said 15 million is not a big enough base to develop for. 15 million. That's bigger than VR. And they said, no, that's not big enough. And VR just never caught on. It never had that because of all those problems and all the development problems. It never caught on and it could never get over that hump. My hope now is hopefully Facebook gets distracted and stops spending money on it. Hopefully Facebook stops pushing the metaverse crap. Hopefully everyone pushing the metaverse crap just stops, right? Hopefully Apple stops their development. This sounds backwards, but hopefully that happens so that we can settle in and it can find where it can grow from. And that means what can you actually make money making? What do people want to play? What is not artificially considered good, but what is actual consumers deciding? Because I still think there's something there. There's still something special about VR to me. There's still something where there's places that I've gone to in VR that I remember. There's experiences I've had with people. I think of this one VR experience I had laughing with my friend in San Francisco's art museum. And it was just this crazy, weird art piece made by, oh my God, I'm going to forget his name. Really talented, really talented artist. And I can remember that because of the experience and the presence that I had in that place. And that is special. And it sucks that it has gotten so subverted and so twisted around. So, yeah, we'll see. But, I also know some senior developers who have gotten out of VR dev, not because of the money stuff. I know some people are doubling down, tripling down, still doing great stuff. I know Denny over up in Canada is doing some great stuff, but a lot of people have gotten some fatigue. They've gotten some problems where they start feeling more susceptible to being sick after many, many hours in it. And it may be age. Yes, I get it. Yes, younger generation, but hey, 5-year-olds aren't making games, right? So if you want, and if you're excited about it, pick up Unity or Unreal. Probably Unity, I think, still supports it better. Make something, share it. I think it's got to come from grassroots now, and I think there's going to be an opportunity for that, and that's what I'm excited to see where it goes to. But yeah, this is disappointing. Think of it like a rocket ship, and you have to get out of the Earth's atmosphere to take off, and it just never could. And I don't think it can with all those things that I just talked about. But maybe now, free of those, it can.